again, Fritz Springmeier, author of this phone book-sized book in my hand, Bloodlines, the Illuminati, available only at InfoWarsStore.com. Reads like a nightmare horror movie, but so much of it that he wrote about in here back in the mid-'90s when this book came out, what, 96, 97, turned out to be true and came out in mainstream media. It is bizarre. And I can't prove all of it, but a lot of it over the years has turned out to be accurate. Really amazing book, available at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139. I appreciate Fritz coming in today to do this via Skype. His Skype looks great. That's one reason I haven't had him on as much as his internet's been bad. But he looks like he's got good internet. So, Fritz, I want to invite you on to the Nightly News the next few weeks and do a full hour in the near future with us here on the syndicated radio show. So we'll get that set up as soon as this Ferguson thing either escalates or downgrades. We're really trying to focus on this because it's part of a larger globalist plan. What is your gut watching this unfold? I mean, we have the evidence. They are provocateuring this and preparing race war as a pretext for martial law. What's your view on that?
Well, first I want to comment that you're on top of it, and there's not a whole lot of information that I can give on the details of what's transpiring that you're not giving. You're doing a good job of covering it, but what I can do is give the larger context, because as you've been telling your audience, I did a lot of research on the Illuminati. This is a part of a program. There's programs, and then there's sub-programs underneath that, and at the top of the agenda is population reduction, but they're also trying to break up the United States, take us back down to where we're manageable, split us up. We're going to have order out of chaos, but first we've got to create the chaos. So 2 years ago when I was in studio with you, you were holding up and showing the audience my books on the trauma-based mind control. And when I did work with the victims of this trauma-based mind control, I was trying to be a friend and a free therapist to them. I wasn't charging people for the help I gave, and people came from around the world to my house to get assistance. One of the things that I discovered, and this wasn't only just something I discovered, but some other Christian ministers that were also working with victims of trauma-based mind control also discovered this, is that all of these people had programming for this period of chaos, Armageddon programming, where the elite of the world were going to create Armageddon-type scenarios where we have these plagues, where we have these riots, we have this chaos, we have a financial crisis. Christine Lagarde, who's head of the IMF, she's been talking about we need a global reset, structural reforms. There's all these financial...
Rand Corporation says a global war is needed to save the New World Order. It's chaos psychology, where you bring in the chaos to then get the public to beg for the solution.
Exactly. And they're going to have people asking for, we got this Ebola scare, and now Monsanto's... going to make billions of dollars off of they create a problem, then they give the solution, and they make money through the whole Hegelian dialectic process. So, the Department of Agriculture, Vilsack, was Monsanto, and Monsanto even gave him a jet to travel around as he was governor. So we've got these Illuminati members salted in our government, John Kerry, who was Department of State, Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones set up as a branch of the Bavarian Illuminati, which was a branch of the Illuminati in general. So we got all of these members. You've been watching this too, how so many members in a president's cabinet will be Council on Foreign Relations, which was Illuminati-controlled organization. So they've put their people in, they've programmed people all through all levels of society. So what we see happening at Ferguson, some of those people that are on both sides of the issue, some of the police, some of the demonstrators, some of these people coming from St. Louis to cause problems, these people have been programmed to do this. This is actually pretty intense, sophisticated mind control. One of the things that I discovered in working with these Illuminati victims of mind control.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. Today I'd like to talk about the war on women. You've experienced and heard about the benefits of super male vitality. Now, the new formula has arrived. Introducing the new Super Female Vitality. I have specifically designed this formula to help the body naturally regulate itself without the use of artificial hormones. Key ingredients chosen from the highest quality sources. Each of these ingredients works synergistically with the female body in order to maximize overall vitality. You've heard the reviews and the feedback on how the original Super Male Vitality has revitalized relationships. Now, both the man and the woman can have the revitalization in their own bodies with Super Male Vitality and Super Female Vitality. Secure your Super Female Vitality today from our limited stock at InfoWarsLife.com.
Look, television itself is brainwashing. When you tune into every major cop show, every major cartoon, every major wartime video game, I'm not exaggerating. It's got to be everyone. Because listeners send us all the video clips of this stuff. I've seen in the last month probably 5 different video games that are out this year where you fight Tea Party people and gun owners and kill them because they're terrorists. I don't even hardly watch television or movies. And when I do, the bad guy loves the Second Amendment and George Washington. That's brainwashing. Earlier this year, in January, the Pentagon came out and said, we're going to stop lying because of Matt Drudge. So to stop lying, we're going to engage in psyops domestically, and they changed the law so they could. That's the lie. We're going to stop lying by openly lying. And the military itself is more psyop than anybody. That's why the military is the most awake group out there. Well, we've got to be careful about alienating them because they're the people that aren't ignorant like the public and do know they've been training for gun confiscation and do know all this is happening. We're going to go to your calls and give you the floor and move quickly to the next person. So I've had folks holding for an hour because a guest came on. After Fritz leaves us here in a moment, I'm going to go into overdrive with the Joe Rogan and more. But Fritz, you're going to be on the Nightly News tomorrow night with 30 minutes. Next week on the radio for an hour. A lot of times people in news obviously move a guest if it's not on topic. You are on topic. It's important. I want to delve into these documents and discuss it, but the culture itself is brainwashing. The fluoride in the water to lower IQ and to make other drugs have a higher effect as an adjuvant. That's pharmakeia mind control. Putting 25 million kids on Ritalin, another 60 million on Prozac-type drugs, death education, increasing suicides. We're in a mind control culture where the president says 2 + 2 = 5. And if you built a business, you didn't build it. I mean, aren't we already basting in just general mind control? Fritz Springmeier, author of Bloodlines, the Illuminati.
Yes, exactly. And I wanted to finish my thought just when we took break, and that was in a place like Ferguson, what they have done is, and this is going to happen repeatedly in the United States, when you have these riots and stuff, they have actually programmed people with this trauma-based mind control to become leaders of the rioters. They're people that have been taken and trained, their certain parts of their minds alters. You can see the type of programming I'm talking about if you watch this Charles Bronson movie, Telephone. And so these people can be triggered, and then they will go into their leadership mode where you have a crowd and they will take control of the crowd. So that's a little scary, because if you're somebody who's sincerely protesting, the next thing you know, you'll be caught up in a movement that's controlled by the elite, and you won't even know it. The people that are taking control of the crowds, as well as the police, you've got this controlled chaos, and so yeah, we're looking at some serious things coming down the pike. You've been warning people. You've been talking about how our government is ready for the financial crisis and chaos, how they've stocked up on the weapons, and so you're on top of it, and I appreciate that you're warning people. This is definitely things that are on the Illuminati agenda, and then the long-range plans, like I'm talking about, are to take us down to population reduction. So you can rest assured that after they stress us out with a number of things like a financial crisis, then they and the American dollar will be dethroned as the world's reserve currency. Then we will see the plagues come in. I think that this is this is just scaring people right now with the Ebola thing. I'm concerned.
I agree. They're just getting everything in place, the compartmentalization, the preparation, while deindustrializing, posing as the saviors. And again, the average cop or military or bureaucrat doesn't even know. That's how the globalists all have written that in public books. Tragedy and Hope, Brzezinski's books, Eco-Science, literally hundreds of books they've written. Men in Power is a political retrospective written by the German Chancellor, Helmut Schmidt, all admitting how they do this. That's what's so crazy, is so much of it is admitted. And now they're just selling everyone on the idea of authoritarian control for security, but really the authoritarian control's coming in to take out their real enemy, any wealthy or middle-class folks that aren't part of the system.
Right. They're solidifying their control as if they need more control.
Well, Fritz, I got to say, you are on fire today. You'll be on the nightly news tomorrow for 30 minutes. Okay. And then did we choose a date for you to come on next week yet?
Yes. Not yet, but we can do it.
Guys, let's look at the calendar and pick one right now, so I can tell the audience. I just want to tell the audience what date would be good. I mean, Fritz, just let us know a date that's good next week in the third hour, 1 o'clock Central, and you're on, okay?
Okay, it looks like my schedule's free during the week.
All right, good. Well, we'll talk to you right now off air. Fritz Springmeier, folks, Bloodlines, Illuminati, Fritz Springmeier, the book, available at InfoWarsStore.com. Thank you so much, Fritz. We'll talk to you tomorrow night on the Nightly News and next week. Alex Jones here with a very important announcement for truth seekers. We've carried a lot of amazing films and books over the years on the online video bookstore at InfoWars.com. And out of all the titles we've carried, one stands out because it is just so chillingly convincing. And that's Dreams from My Real Father by Joel Gilbert, available at InfoWars.com. This film exposes the fraud that Obama is like nothing I've seen. If you want to know who Obama's real daddy is, this is the film for you. Don't forget, your purchase supports our broadcast and our growing media network. You'll also find at InfoWarsShop.com None Dare Call a Conspiracy by Gary Allen, the book that woke me up. We're also carrying Behind the Green Mask, You in Agenda 21 by Rosa Corey. This book is coffin nails to the globalist takeover. The Greater Good, the most professional and up-to-date film I've ever seen exposing the scourge that is vaccines. These titles and a lot more are all available at InfoWarsShop.com.